Hi, this is Lanner Smith from Sense Memory, and today is New Year's Eve. And I want to wish all of my subscribers a very, very happy New Year. And I hope that you get everything that you're hoping for in the new year and that your life continues to be wonderful. Now, today's cocktail is going to be a classic that I've made before, and that is a Vesper. Vesper was invented by Ian Fleming in the book Casino Royale. And what is involved in making a Vesper is 3 parts gin, he says Gordon's gin, which is a beautiful gin to use, and 1 part vodka and 1 part quinolele. And you shake it vigorously in a cocktail shaker, serve it in a chilled martini glass, and usually you put in there as a garnish a lemon slice or lemon peel. But I was out of lemon, so I'm going to put in 2 olives. And there we have our beautiful Vesper. Happy New Year. Now that's smooth. As most of you know, I was away on a Christmas voyage to the Mexican Riviera with my family, and some of you have seen the videos, and a really interesting, wonderful thing happened. You'll notice I have my bottle of Chanel Pour Monsieur Concentré here. Well, while we were on the ship, they had an incredible fragrance salon on the ship, and they had all kinds of wonderful, wonderful designer perfumes and colognes. And when I was in there, I made a beeline to that almost the very first day. Absolutely the very first day, not almost, absolutely the very first day. I made a beeline in there with my brother, and we were looking around, and I came across something that I thought was not available in the United States. It's only available in Europe, and evidently on the Crown Princess, on the Princess Cruise Line. And what it was, and this is an unboxing, what it was Pour Monsieur by Chanel. Now this is, of course, a reformulation of the original creation from 1955 by Henri Robert, but it is the first fragrance I ever bought when I was 21 years old, and in those days it cost $25, and that was a lot of money for a college student way back then in the 1900s. So it was my signature cologne from age 21 on until it was discontinued, at least in the United States. It was discontinued and replaced with the concentrate version. So when I saw this, I nearly jumped and did a flip. I was so excited. And my brother said, well, what do you want for Christmas? We were exchanging gifts on the ship, and we were going to buy our gifts in port, in the different Mexican ports or on the ship. And there were lots of different things he suggested, and I kept saying, nope, that's not what I want. I want that bottle of perfume. So this is what I got for Christmas from my brother and my sister-in-law. And it was really the perfect gift. So without going any further into that, I'm going to open it up and we're going to experience it together. Now remember, it's been reformulated, and I have not smelled the vintage since I owned it years and years ago. So I can't say whether or not that it's how it compares to the original. But we'll give it a chance and see how it smells. So, okay, here we go. Voila. It's a beautiful big bottle. My first bottle was just about this big with a little screw top, and it was a dabber. Here we go. Here it is. Beautiful. Beautiful bottle. Just gorgeous. So a little bit about this cologne. Pour Monsieur was, as I said, created in 1955 by Henri Robert, and he was responsible for Chanel No. 19, Chanel Cristal, which is really beautiful, and it's a great unisex fragrance, both men and women can wear. Bouquet des Bois by Coty, which is a very famous perfume. So it is considered an oriental fougere. The top notes are Sicilian peony, lemon verbena, neroli, petitgrain, lemon. The mid notes are coriander, ginger, basil, and cardamom. And the bottom notes are oak moss, vetiver, and cedar. Now I don't know how authentic the oak moss is. If it's real oak moss, I doubt that. But we'll still give it a go and see what we think of it. So here we go. Chanel does a great job on their bottles, and let's see how the sprayer goes. Here we go. First time we're spraying it. Oh, that's beautiful. You know, it's been reformulated, but it's still, I recognize it. I recognize this from my youth as one of the most beautiful fragrances I've ever smelled. It is so incredible. It's sophisticated, smart, very masculine, extremely, it's a brilliant, it still is a brilliant fragrance. I'm just so happy I got this. You know, it has lemon verbena in it, and the interesting thing about lemon verbena is I first heard of lemon verbena when I was a teenager and I read Gone with the Wind, and it just happened to be the fragrance that Scarlett O'Hara's mother wore was lemon verbena, and whenever she smelled lemon verbena, she thought of her mother. Well, I don't think of Scarlett's mother. It reminds me of those days back in college when everyone was wearing patchouli oil and frangipani and all of those wonderful things, and I came back to school after Thanksgiving with a Chanel Pour Monsieur, and I wore it, and people were like, "What are you wearing? What is that smell?" And I said, "It's Chanel Pour Monsieur." So they were a little aghast at this hippie who was running around wearing Chanel, but I wasn't your everyday hippie. So anyway, it is beautiful, and I definitely recommend it if you can get a hold of it. It does sell for quite a lot here in the United States on eBay, about up in around $200. But if you can get it on a ship, or if you're in Europe, it's quite reasonable. And I just want to say also something about, in comparison with the concentrate, and as we said, the Chanel Pour Monsieur is an Oriental Fougere, whereas the concentrate is an Oriental Spicy, and it was created in 1989 by Jacques Polge, he's Mr. Chanel. The top notes, in comparison, are petitgrain, lavender, mandarin orange. The middle notes are nutmeg and cardamom. Bottom notes are opopanax, vanilla, oak moss, and vetiver. So there are a few notes that come from the original, but it's quite different. And let's give it a little test and compare the two. Yeah, they're so incredibly different. I love concentrate, but it really does pale in comparison to the original. Yeah, so there you have my take and unboxing on my wonderful Christmas present, Chanel Pour Monsieur. This is Lanier Smith from Sense Memory saying, remember, wear what you love and not what they say you should like. Cheers.